Hi, welcome back. We've done what we wanted this evening. We've powered the display up. We found the data sheet for the voltage regulator on the internet, and it simply showed the dirty 12 volt input and the ground that happened to be the tab. Unfortunately, we couldn't solder directly to the tab just due to this amount of thermal input it needed to heat it up, so we just went to a capacitor next to it. As you can see, the display's working up. 85,000 miles on the clock, despite the 83 claimed by the seller. Good old eBay. As you can see, the immobiliser light periodically flashing. We're currently putting 11.88 volts into it, and we're powering it off a cheap switch mode power supply unit from Maplin's. I prefer the switch mode power supply from Maplin's because it's quite a dirty output and really requires quite a large smoothing capacitor across the output, but it simulates an automotive environment quite well. Okay, so what we want to find out right now is we'll find out the pinouts and exactly where the 12 volts comes in at a later date. That's an easy task, but what we need to find out now is this display controller. It's quite easy to input CAN messages into this and getting it turning on and displaying, but what I really want to know is how this display controller works. As you can see, there's only 7 inputs onto that display. The microcontroller won't be controlling the display directly. There must be a controller in there, but I just want to verify this. So to verify this, what I'm going to do is remove the display while it's on. As you can see, the display goes off. The immobiliser light still flashes, and due to the lack of other logic on the board, I would assume the processor hasn't crashed. I'm going to reinsert the display. Just wait a small amount of time, and as you can see, the controller hasn't updated the display. Now, if the controller drove the display directly, I would expect to see the display message of the mileage display or refresh back on there immediately, but as you can see, it hasn't, so I'd assume there's some probably serial communication between the display or the display and the display controller and the microprocessor on the board. Okay, so next we're going to try and put the needles back on, get it working, and see if we can get some gauge sweeps out of it. Check back soon.